For 3 years, Alex had measured his life not in days, but in the distance between his bed and the living room window. The apartment on Cedar Avenue was supposed to be temporary, a place to recover while he adjusted to the diagnosis. But the degenerative disease had other plans. Now, at 34, the architect who once designed skyscrapers couldn't feel his legs below the knee. His world had shrunk to 700 square feet on the 3rd floor of a building with an elevator that broke once a month. The window faced a brick wall, but it was his only connection to the outside world. On good days, he could hear children playing in the courtyard below. On bad days, he stared at the bricks and counted the cracks. His online vlog, started on a whim during a particularly lonely night, had become his lifeline. 3,000 subscribers watched him review accessible restaurants, complain about hospital food, and occasionally just sit in silence when the pain was too much. They were strangers, but they were company. He never expected one of them to want more. The flowers arrived on a Tuesday. Alex was recording a video about the new voice-activated software his therapist had recommended when the doorbell rang. The delivery man was already halfway down the hall by the time Alex maneuvered his chair to the door. There was no card, just a bouquet of white lilies wrapped in brown paper. He assumed they were from his sister, though she usually sent a text first. He placed them on the kitchen counter and forgot about them. 3 days later, a book arrived. It was a first edition of The Fountainhead, his favorite novel, the one he had mentioned in a video about architecture school. This time, there was a handwritten note. To Alex, who builds dreams even when he can't stand. From someone who sees you. The handwriting was elegant, feminine. He posted a photo of the note on his vlog, joking about having a secret admirer. His followers loved it. They commented, speculated, encouraged. Alex laughed it off, but something in his chest felt warm. For the first time in years, someone saw him as more than a patient. The gifts escalated with unsettling precision. A week after the book, a miniature replica of his first wheelchair arrived, hand-painted to match the exact shade of blue. He had mentioned that specific wheelchair exactly once, in a video about medical equipment durability. 2 weeks later, a vintage fountain pen he had admired in a window display during his last trip outside appeared on his doorstep. Alex never went outside anymore, so how did she know about the pen? He started paying attention to his surroundings. The building had security cameras in the lobby, but the footage showed nothing unusual. Delivery people came and went. Neighbors walked their dogs. Everything looked normal, which made it worse. He mentioned the gifts to his physical therapist during a session. She suggested he contact the police. He laughed it off, but that night, he locked his door for the first time in months. He also noticed that his medication schedule, which he kept on a whiteboard by his bed, had been moved slightly. Just an inch. But he never moved it. The police visit took 45 minutes and accomplished nothing. 2 officers sat on his second-hand couch, drinking the coffee he struggled to pour, and told him there was nothing they could do. No threats had been made. No one had touched him. The gifts, while unusual, weren't illegal. One of the officers, a young woman with tired eyes, suggested he change his locks and install a camera. She wrote down a case number that felt meaningless. After they left, Alex sat in the dark and felt something he hadn't felt since the diagnosis: genuine fear. It wasn't the fear of falling or the fear of pain. It was the fear of being watched. He started scrolling through his vlog comments obsessively, looking for patterns. Usernames that appeared repeatedly. IP addresses he couldn't trace. He found one commenter, Maya Codes, who always left thoughtful, technical responses to his videos about accessibility technology. She had offered help before. On impulse, he sent her a private message explaining everything. She replied within 10 minutes. "I work in cybersecurity. Send me everything." Maya was not what Alex expected. When she video called him that evening, he saw a woman in her late 20s with short purple hair, sitting in what looked like a server room. She spoke fast, with an accent he couldn't quite place. "Okay, so the book. The fountain pen. The wheelchair replica. This isn't random. This person has access to your personal history, your preferences, your memories. They're not just watching your videos, they're studying you. They're building a relationship with you through objects." Alex listened, his stomach tightening. Maya continued. "I traced the IP addresses from the comments. Most are VPNs, bounced through different countries. But one comment, from 3 weeks ago, came from a local IP. A coffee shop downtown. I pulled the security footage from that coffee shop for the timestamp." She paused, and Alex saw her expression shift. "There's a woman. Mid-30s. Brown hair. She's sitting at a table with a laptop, and she's watching your videos on her phone at the same time. Alex, she was in your building yesterday. I checked the public lobby feed. She walked past the mailboxes at 3:47 p.m. The time Alex was recording his video. The time his door was unlocked. He didn't sleep that night. Every creak of the building, every footstep in the hallway made his heart race. He positioned his wheelchair facing the door, a heavy lamp in his lap like a pathetic weapon. By morning, he was exhausted and jumpy. Maya called again at dawn. I ran facial recognition on the coffee shop footage. Nothing in criminal databases. But I found her social media. She uses a pseudonym, but her photos are public. She's a nurse, Alex. A traveling nurse. She works temporary shifts at different facilities." Alex felt the blood drain from his face. "My home health aid agency sends different nurses every week. It's rotating staff. They could be anyone." Maya was already typing. "I need you to do something. Next time a new nurse arrives, take a photo. Send it to me. Don't let them see you do it." He agreed, his voice barely a whisper. The agency had called yesterday. A new nurse was scheduled for this morning. Her name was Sarah. She would arrive in 2 hours to administer his medication and help with his exercises. Just like always. Sarah arrived at 9 a.m. exactly. She was pleasant, professional, with kind eyes and a calm voice. She helped him transfer from the bed to his chair, checked his vital signs, and prepared his morning medications. Everything was routine. But Alex watched her differently now. He noticed how her eyes scanned the room, not with curiosity, but with assessment. She glanced at his computer, at the stack of mail on his desk, at the whiteboard with his schedule. When she handed him his pills, her fingers brushed his for a second too long. He forced a smile and thanked her. After she left, he rolled to the window and watched the street below. She emerged from the building, walked to the corner, and paused. She took out her phone, looked up at his window, and typed something. Alex raised his own phone and took a photo. He sent it to Maya with trembling hands. 3 minutes later, Maya called. "That's her. The woman from the coffee shop. Sarah matches the photo. Alex, she's been inside your apartment multiple times. She's been touching your things. She's been in your home. The next 2 weeks became a psychological war. Sarah continued her shifts, always professional, always pleasant. But Alex noticed everything now. The way she lingered in his kitchen, opening cabinets as if memorizing their contents. The way she asked questions about his family, his friends, his routines. The gift stopped, but something worse started. His belongings began to move. A book would be on the nightstand when he swore he left it on the desk. His toothbrush would be wet in the morning even though he hadn't used it. One night, he woke at 3 a.m. to the sound of his front door closing softly. He rolled to the entrance, heart pounding, and found a single white lily on the floor mat. He didn't sleep again that week. Maya worked tirelessly, digging into Sarah's past. She found nursing licenses in 3 different states, all under different names. She found addresses that led to abandoned buildings. She found a pattern that made Alex's blood run cold. In 2 different cities, male patients under Sarah's care had died. Both were men with degenerative conditions. Both had changed their wills shortly before their deaths. Both deaths were ruled accidental. Confronting Sarah was not an option. Alex was physically vulnerable, trapped in his chair, dependent on the very system that had delivered her to his door. The police wouldn't act without proof, and the proof was circumstantial at best. Maya proposed a plan. She would install hidden cameras in Alex's apartment, small devices disguised as smoke detectors and phone chargers. They would document everything. But the cameras required installation, and Alex couldn't do it himself. Maya lived 3 states away, working a job she couldn't leave. They needed someone local, someone trustworthy. Alex thought of his neighbor across the hall, an elderly widow named Eleanor who sometimes brought him soup. She was kind, sharp, and completely unaware of the danger. He asked her for help with home security upgrades. She agreed without hesitation. That Saturday, while Sarah was off duty, Eleanor helped Maya remotely via video call, installing 3 cameras in strategic locations. Alex felt a flicker of hope for the first time in weeks. The cameras captured everything. For 3 days, Alex watched Sarah's visits on his computer screen, seeing what he had only suspected. He saw her open his medicine cabinet and photograph the labels. He saw her sit in his chair while he was in the bathroom, scrolling through his phone. He saw her take a strand of hair from his brush and place it in her pocket. The most chilling moment came on the 4th day. Sarah thought Alex was asleep. She stood over his bed for a full 7 minutes, just watching him breathe. Her expression was unreadable, a strange mixture of tenderness and possession. Maya reviewed the footage and found something else. In the background, during one of Sarah's visits, Alex's medication bottles were visible on the nightstand. When Maya enhanced the image, she saw that one bottle, his blood pressure medication, had been opened and resealed. The seal was slightly crooked. Alex hadn't taken that medication in 2 days because the bottle looked wrong. If he had taken it, the dosage inside might have been different. It might have been lethal. They had enough for the police now. Maya compiled a dossier, the footage, the patterns, the deaths in other cities, the false identities. Alex called the detective who had visited him weeks ago. She arrived within the hour, watched the footage in silence, and made a phone call. Sarah was scheduled for a shift the next morning. The plan was simple. Sarah would arrive, the police would be waiting in Eleanor's apartment across the hall, and they would arrest her when she entered. But Sarah was smarter than they anticipated. At 8:47 a.m., Alex's phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. I know about the cameras, Alex. I know about the police. I've always known everything about you. That's the point. Alex's hands shook as he read the message. He looked at the live camera feed. The hallway was empty. The lobby was empty. But his apartment door, the one he always kept locked, was slowly opening. Sarah stepped inside, calm and unhurried. She looked directly at the hidden camera in the smoke detector and smiled. "Don't call anyone," she said, her voice soft. "I just want to talk." Alex sat frozen in his chair, 20 feet from the woman who had invaded his life. She walked to his couch and sat down, crossing her legs like a guest at a tea party. "I've watched every video you ever made. I know you better than anyone alive. I know you're scared of the dark. I know you cry when you think about your old office. I know you haven't spoken to your father in 7 years." Alex found his voice. "Why?" She tilted her head, genuinely puzzled. "Because I love you. Not the way other people love. I love you completely. I know everything about you, and I love you anyway. That's more than anyone else can offer." She reached into her purse and pulled out a document. "I had a lawyer draw this up. It's a healthcare power of attorney. If you sign it, I can make sure you're always safe. No more rotating nurses. No more strangers. Just me." Alex stared at the paper, understanding dawning. The other men. The ones who died. They signed papers too. Sarah's smile didn't waver. "They were weak. They didn't appreciate what I offered. You're different." The door burst open. 3 officers flooded the apartment, weapons drawn. Sarah didn't run, didn't fight. She simply looked at Alex with infinite sadness. "They'll never understand," she whispered, as the handcuffs clicked around her wrists. "They'll never love you like I do." They took her away, still talking, still explaining herself to officers who refused to listen. Alex sat in his chair, trembling, as the detective knelt beside him. "You're safe now. She's going away for a long time." But Alex wasn't sure he would ever feel safe again. In the weeks that followed, he changed apartments, changed his phone number, changed his life. Maya visited in person, and they became real friends, not just digital ones. He started a new vlog series about digital privacy and personal safety. The videos went viral. People wanted to know how to protect themselves. Alex told them the truth: you can't always protect yourself. Sometimes the danger is already inside your home before you even know to lock the door. Sometimes love is the most dangerous weapon of all. The last video he ever recorded ended with a simple message: if someone tells you they know you completely, run. No one should know you that well. Not even you. He never posted it. He kept it for himself, a reminder of the woman who loved him too much to let him live.